Hi guys, happy new year. Welcome back to my channel. Hello and welcome if you are brand new here. My name is Chloe Swift. I'm a professional hairstylist and hair care expert. In this video, I really wanted just to bring you some of my most frequently asked questions that I do receive, whether it's in your comments down below, whether it's DMs. I wanted to put together those kind of most frequently asked questions and do a video. And I thought the best way to do this, because so many of these questions, I'm sure I've definitely answered that somewhere before. So I've gone through all of my videos just over the last 12 months, picked out some real key pieces of information that I still swear by, that all of you guys need to know. So yeah, this is just like a compilation of a hairstylist most frequently asked questions that you guys need to know. I really hope you enjoy it. Please let me know any more questions below in the comments, and yeah, we'll get straight into it. Number one product I would suggest that everyone starts with, and this is based off of hair wash day, for example. So your hair is damp, you want to apply a leave-in conditioning spray, and I call this kind of spray a water-based heat protection. I say water-based. If you shake it like that, it sounds liquidy. I always see these as like the primer for your hair. So think about it like makeup, how you layer your makeup. So you've got primer, foundation, blusher, bronzer, all of that kind of thing. Yeah, I always see these kind of water, creamy based heat protections as your primer. So hair dryer on, we're gonna go up to the highest heat because the hair is just a little bit damp with product, so it can take the highest heat. I actually always prefer to use it on like the medium speed setting because I find the highest speed is so powerful sometimes. It's kind of blowing the little finer baby shorter hairs around too much, and I just feel like I have a lot more control over it on a medium speed, so that's what we're going to do. Placing that brush right in the hair, and what I like to do is get that first wrap straight away around the brush. So I'm literally just leaving it there just to heat up that first turn around the brush, and then what we want to do is we actually want to pull and direct the hair upwards if it's volume that we're going for. Whereas I know a lot of you, just for ease, and I guess maybe you're not used to holding your arms up in the air, but you'll start pulling the hair out either downwards or sideways. But for the most amount of volume, we want to be aiming everything up towards the ceiling. And what I do love to do as well is do a little cool shot on each piece of hair. So technically and scientifically, the quicker something can go from hot to cold, the better it's going to set in shape. So that's why we kind of do a cool shot. Hold my temperature button down until it's in the cool mode, and just hold that there just for a few seconds. To remove, just loosen the tension on that brush slightly, grab your root area, and then we're just kind of untwisting the brush out of the hair. See, if you can master blow drying your hair, honestly, you are gonna love the results and love that kind of blow dry finish. I will section my hair, so bring everything round to the front. So that is all my hair. So into two sections, I will split and section everything up. So again, there's so many people that I see how they apply heat protection. They might just do like 1, 2, 3, 4, and guess what? That is literally only just going to hit those areas where you've applied it and just the top layer of your hair. So it's so important that you section your hair and you are spraying it evenly throughout your hair. I will go in and do 1, 2, 3, 4 down every kind of section. It's like half a meter away. It's not so close that it's going to saturate your hair and leave it with this like sticky piece where there's just too much product. So kind of like an arm's length, half a meter away. Next section, I'm going to work up again, the exact same. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Work up again, and then the sections I'm taking are about 2 inches wide in kind of thickness. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe just get a little bit around the back there, because that's quite a wide section. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm actually doing 6 there because I was kind of doing the section behind it as well. And then this top layer, 1, 2, 3, 4. All of that side's done, and you can see how it does dampen the hair back down again. Make sure you get your tangle teaser and actually brush that all the way through the hair, because again, that heat protection has only literally just landed on the parts where you have sprayed it. So you've tried to spray it as evenly as you can, but you still just want to give the hair a good brush through and detangle, and just make sure that heat protection is coating all of those individual strands of hair, and it's just, yeah, it's not collected in one particular area where it's going to be too sticky. But yeah, that's really easily blended into my hair, and it almost helps just to work it into the hair. And my top tip, when you are applying your curling wand, always apply it and position it where the arrow is actually pointing towards your mirror and facing the front, because it is obviously just completely plain and blank on that side. But if you've always got the arrows pointing towards your mirror, it's so much easier knowing which way the curl direction is going to go, now that we've got our curling wand on, it's already put us up to high heat and high speed. And to be honest, I just keep it at that. On this side, I just want to make sure my curling wand is pointing to that direction. So my curl is going to go that way, away from the face. And all we want to do, pull out that section, have this nice and neat and smooth with no tangles in. I'm going to kind of get it in position where I want it. So I kind of just hold it down towards the ends, not at the very end. I'm going to turn my on button on when I'm ready to go, and yeah, literally Dyson Airwrap does all of the rest, and it will turn off once it's done the cool shot and everything, and it's so obvious once it's done. How quick and efficient was that? Crazy. So then we're literally just going to leave that little sausage curl there. Try not to touch it. I say that as I'm touching it, but yeah, try not to touch it and just leave it. It's still kind of setting and cooling down at this point. Then we're going to move on to this section, and we just want to swap the direction of this. So we want this curl to go that way, away from the face. I'm just going to click that way and repeat the same again here. Just how quick and easy is that? So we've got two little sausage curls, both going away from the face. Product prep. Plee is a heat activated styling spray, so it actually needs heat to activate it. It's great to get a bit of hold into your hair, so it's great for root volume. That's what I'm going to add it in. And yeah, it's just a great spray to add in if you're wanting shape adding into your hair. So I'm just going to pick up my hair and mist it in just kind of sections throughout the hair, and I'm making sure I'm really picking up the roots and spraying it into the roots there as well. And super key for volume, because already you can see just with the length of hair, so as I mentioned earlier, any hair that is long, you are essentially, the weight of the hair is going to be dragging and bringing that root down. So we want to keep it in that kind of beveled curved position at the root for as long as possible. So what I love to do is pin curl every single section. So pop 2 fingers underneath there at the root, gently wrap the hair around, so you're not forming a new shape, you're just letting that hair and the shape that you've already blow dried it in, you're just letting that form around your fingers. So you've got a perfect little round curl there. Take these little silver hairdressing section clips, I'll link these down below because these are crucial for kind of pin curling. And then yeah, just stick that pin straight through the hole, so it's going, one bit's going against your scalp, one bit's going through the pin curl, and that is also the key for setting volume into the hair. So now that hair, because it's still a little bit warm, but now it's actually going to set with volume where that root is actually kicking out from the head rather than sitting and lying flat. Realistically, everyone wants, I guess, the top and the front to be like the best parts of your hair when you're styling your hair. So what I actually do love to do when I work quickly is really focus on this bit, and I'll do this bit first, and also that gives the hair the longest amount of time to set and cool in that shape. That's kind of in and cooling whilst I can then work on all of this hair. So yeah, what we're going to do is tackle this kind of top row first of all. I've now subsectioned, I've taken a tail comb out and then taken like a subsection out of this top horse row section, and I'm going to do this first piece of hair and then we're going to work backwards. So that's my first section, and I'd say it's kind of like 2 inches deep, but it's no wider than my actual brush head. I'll be honest, when I work in a rush, I actually don't use the cool shot at all. I really like to, when the hair's still warm, I'll go in with a Velcro roller. This really sets in that shape, and you're allowing the hair to go cool from that warm stage. Yeah, you're just leaving it rather than, I guess, spending time and doing your cool shot button. And then just grab a little silver pin and you're going to pin that roller in place, and that is super secure, super neat. Instead of now going in horizontally like we were doing on these top sections, we're going to hold the brush vertically, and actually that way you can almost get a lot bigger and thicker section into the brush hair. you can see just how much width we've also got from blow drying the hair that way. You're going to take a round brush. So the general rule of thumb with round brushes, the smaller you go with the round brush, that creates a lot more volume and curl shape. The larger you go, you definitely create more smooth and sleek. It's kind of too large to put any shape into the hair. Even though I am going smooth and sleek here, the reason why I actually don't like on my hair going for a brush that is way too large, because personally I just feel like you lose tension on the hair. So here I've got like just a really good medium-sized round brush that I think works perfectly to wrap the hair around enough that you're getting that really strong tension. And it's so important to get a strong tension in the hair because that's what smooths out the hair and gets rid of like frizziness. Whatever side I'm blow drying my hair, I will always like to hold my hair dryer in the opposite hand, and then the brush will be on the side that you're blow drying. So placing that brush into the hair, we are going to come in right at the root and first of all get that one full wrap around the hair. So you can see how that's almost locked into place there. That is what then gives us the tension on the hair when we're blow drying. I'm going to go up to the highest speed, but I actually quite like to keep the speed on the medium speed, so not the highest speed. And then what I'm going to do is just really focus on directing the cuticle and the airflow downwards. And then it's super easy because you've already wrapped the hair one full rotation around the brush. All we're just focused on doing is then actually just pulling that brush downwards. So really glide that down, and then when I get to the end, that's when I just start rotating the brush just so it glides down and out of the hair, and I've got that really lovely bevel and bend on the hair. And then what I'll do, I'll just feel how dry that is. It's still just a touch damp, so I'll just repeat that again. So really focus on that root area there. We've already got the full wrap around the brush, so all you just need to do is glide this brush downwards now. And then when we get to the end, then you can just start rotating your brush, and that easily glides the hair out of the brush. And just look at that, and honestly I cannot even tell you how soft that feels. That feels like silk. Look at the difference as well, guys. Such a big difference. On this side, what I'm going to show you is like, I guess, the most classic way of using a clamp curling iron, and that's to flat wrap the hair around the barrel, and then this way you're going to get that perfectly formed round bouncy ringlet shape. Open the arm of your tong, so you want to keep this arm open, and then we're actually going to hold our curling iron kind of like, yeah, pretty much like upside down. And then if you want the curls going away from your face, so I want my curls going backwards here, I'm actually going to place the curling iron behind my hair here. And then with that first wrap, what I want to do is make sure I'm pushing that hair right up to the base of the curling iron. And that's because, I don't know if you can see that, hopefully you can, but the hair isn't overlapping on top of one another. We want to give each kind of wrap of hair the same amount of heat around the barrel, whereas if you were actually overlapping it and over wrapping, technically some of the hair isn't getting the same amount of heat as the hair that isn't overlapped. You can hold on for 6 to 8 seconds. I am going to let go now because I have just been talking the whole way through that, and it's definitely been left on long enough. Catch that in the palm of your hand just for a couple of seconds, then let that curl release, and oh my god, look how bouncy that curl is. Now what I did on that first one, I actually held the end because I was kind of talking. What I'm going to do on this one is close the end in, so you do see there I slightly do overlap it, and that's because that can happen. So I'm actually glad that happened so I can show you. So let me just wrap that in again. So I do slightly overlap the ends because it stops that from happening. If you overlap that end, it stops the end kind of falling out. So when you actually wrap the end around and in the iron, that's what gives you that perfectly round bouncy curl, whereas if you were to just hold the end, you are always just going to get that slightly straightish end. And there we go again, perfectly round bouncy ringlet. And now on this side we're doing like my go-to way of using a clamp curling iron, and it's to create a much looser look, kind of more like a soft loose beachy wave. So holding the iron completely differently, we're going to hold it kind of vertically, pointing upwards towards the ceiling. Again, have the arm, that lever open, and then you want to come up and underneath. So you're placing that hair in between the iron and then the arm. And then as soon as we close this arm, so it's kind of not making any mark at the moment, and I've not actually placed it on, but as soon as we close that arm, boom, I'm getting that turn in straight away. And you want one full turn, and you know it's a full turn because then that silver part, or the arm, or just whatever curling iron you're using, that's going to be facing the mirror again. Then glide down just a little bit so you have some room here, and then unhook underneath, and then one full wrap again. So again, you know it's a full wrap because you can see that silver part in the mirror again. Unhook underneath, glide down, and then it's back again, pointing towards the mirror. And then basically you just want to keep repeating this until the very ends of the hair, you literally just like glide off on the end. So with the gliding off, you get like this nice little kind of straighter end, and you can see I've retained so much more of my hair length rather than this side has literally bounced up and I've lost half of my hair length. So yeah, this is so much looser, beachy, cool vibe, and yeah, I just absolutely love this classic loose curl. So we're going to take our flat iron, our straighteners, and for this one you're technically holding the flat iron upside down and pointing vertical, pointing quite straight. My section size for all of these to start with is really quite small. We're working in like an inch square, little box section, but kind of the biggest size you want to go up to. I mean, we could almost take double that. We could do like 2 inches square. I'll just start off with small ones so we can just keep these small and super clear. So take your straightener up and over, holding it upside down. Place the hair in the middle of those plates, and then you want to close those plates, and straight away get one full twist in. So you know it's one full twist when you can then see the logo back in the mirror again. And I'm literally going to glide down to the floor. So that part's really quite simple. And that is the thing that I love about GHD straighteners, especially this Kronos one. That glide is so smooth. It's like gliding through butter. It's not tuggy at all. Look at that. Even though it's kind of the looser curl, because we're retaining the length, it's still got a really, really lovely definition. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you stayed throughout this video, it was quite funny to see how looks wise I changed in every single clip. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed that video. You picked up lots of tips and tricks. As usual, if you like this video, if you learned anything new, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up below, and make sure you subscribe because I bring you videos like this every single week. Please leave me some comments below with some videos, ideas and suggestions which you'd love me to bring you for this year, and have a great day.